What was your relationship like with your sister? Were you had not seen her for a while, or?
My brother and I hadn't seen her since 2005.
Okay.
Since my mom's funeral.
Had you ever been up there to?
No. Okay. Dia and I were real close up until we were close until my dad died in 2000. And then after that, my brother and she and I just weren't close anymore.
What's it been like, kind of watching from afar, from a distance, so to speak, of your sister going missing and this whole drama play out?
It's rough. It's rough not knowing. I mean, we shared a bedroom for years, and it's not been easy. It's not been easy on my brother or myself because she's our sister, growing up together, it's been very strange to know that your sister is missing.
What's the order of the siblings?
I'm the youngest, my sister was the middle, and my brother's the oldest.
Talk to me about your sister. What kind of person was she?
Dia was amazing. Dia was a seamstress. Dia was giving. Dia was funny. Dia was caring. Dia loved animals. Dia was everything a big sister should be and a little sister should be to my brother. She was a good girl. She was a good girl. She was a great mother. She was a wonderful mother. I mean, I remember when Clinton was born, she was just over the top. And when Chrisara was born, she and my daughter were real close growing up.
What goes through your mind when you hear Keith Harper kind of insinuate that Clinton might have had something?
You know what? If I hear that dude says that one more time about Clinton, there's going to be trouble. Who in their right mind says that about a child's mother or a child doing that to his mother? Clinton loved his mother very, very much. Dia loved Clinton. There's no way. This guy is pointing fingers in the wrong direction. It's all about him. It's all about him isolating her, keeping her up there, telling her that she had nobody, she had no family, her children, she and Clem were tight. She and Clem had a great marriage. I think they had a pretty good thing going. She wouldn't have hooked up with this guy, I'll tell you that much. This guy follow the money, as far as I'm concerned.
What do you think he brainwashed her? Was your sister the type of person that could fall for something like that?
I think my sister was gullible. I think that she craved being loved. And I think he isolated her. I think he got her up there and told her that nobody cared for her, just him. This is my opinion. And I think he got her up there. I look at him and I think there's no way that she met some guy on farmers or ranchers or whatever. That's not my sister. Maybe she went on a dating site. Maybe she did. But first of all, she never would have remarried. She never would have remarried this dude, ever. I know my sister. My sister was a class act. He manipulated her. He had her under his thumb. And then when he says in one interview that they were engaged and he didn't know where he bought her wedding ring or her engagement ring. Come the hell on. This is not, no. The whole thing is bullshit. The whole thing is, to me. And my brother and Clinton has also done so much to try to find his mother. It's beyond. It's just beyond. He loves his mother so much that, it's made him a little beyond crazy. This poor boy is brokenhearted. He's brokenhearted.
I assume you agree that she's deceased.
I do, because my sister loved her animals. She loved the things that were in her home. Even though I had never been to that house, I know her house in La Jolla. She loved her stuff. She loved her stuff when we were growing up. I mean, she loved her dolls. If I took one of her dolls, she'd get mad at me. I know how she was. She never would have left. I think that, you know, whoever's up in that house had something to do with my sister's demise.
Well, he won't be up in that house for much longer. There seems to be an effort to get him out of there in 60 days. What's your reaction to that?
You know, when I heard on the news that, and I read an article that he had tried to sell her property, and he had some kind of funky California, he was doing some bogus stuff up there with her property. I mean, the one thing, David, I don't understand is how this guy takes my nieces and nephews' property, who was the hard work of my brother-in-law and my sister, and decides that he can live on the land that Clem Abrams is the one who worked on. And he can sit up there and mooch off of it. This guy assaulted women. He's done jail time.
What do you think should happen to the property?
I think it should go to Clinton and Chrisara. I think it's their property. I think it belongs to them. That was their mom and dad's. You know, she had things in there of my parents. You know, when they both passed, she had some of their things that if he got rid of those, I mean, that all belongs to Clinton and Chrisara.
He's going to say she specifically signed a document.
He threatened her. He threatened her. He
signed a document disinheriting Clinton and Chrisara, and specifically wrote that in a, you know, updated trust. What do you have to say to that?
I think he isolated her. I think he scared her. I think he scared her. I think there may have been more to it. I don't know what, but I think he scared her into thinking that someone was going to come and get her things and someone was going to do something. This guy he's not a rocket scientist. This guy is not brilliant, but he did something. He did something to my sister to make her believe that who disappears 2 weeks after they do that? And then he leaves. I don't know if it's a diversionary thing. I don't know what happened, but this whole thing is a cluster, if you ask me. Because this is not how my sister operates. She doesn't, and to leave her cell phone and her purse. I mean, and my nephew, I mean, and he's just, I think he's heartbroken. But this guy manipulated her somehow, and then she disappears 2 weeks later. Come on, how, I mean, who doesn't watch enough Dateline to know how stupid this whole thing looks and sounds? I mean, this is ridiculous. And then he leaves, and how many excuses does he have? He says that he had a tax appointment, then he had something to do with his storage places. I mean, there was a litany of excuses as to why he was going to leave.
How would you like your sister to be remembered?
There's this little girl who used to cut my bangs. There's this mom. There's a sister. There's this daughter. There's this little girl who used to we used to put on old Salvation Army bags and cut the holes out and run up and down the street. We grew up on Mount Helix. And we'd run up and down the street. She was a good girl. She didn't, all these things that she happened to get out of life, this is the last thing she deserved. She did not deserve any of this. She deserved to live a happy life and be appropriately respected and loved. and not have this happen to her, not have this guy wander into her life and create such havoc. It's not right. My sister needs to, what we would like as a family, because my kids loved her, everybody loved her, is to find her body. This guy is sick. He knows where she is. If he had nothing to do with it or something to do with it, he knows where she is. Give us that. Give us where she is so we can bury her. She could be by my dad at Glen Abbey. You know? It's heartbreaking.
So there's, can you talk a little bit about this $300,000 reward, what you're hoping?
I'm hoping that somebody will finally get sick and tired of this, you know, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and start speaking, start talking. He's getting old. He's going to dance with the devil. He knows exactly what happened. He was the last one to see her. He was going to mow a meadow. Come on. He was the last one to see her. And what about that other, Jody Newkirk? What about her? This is a paint by number, and it's not that complicated. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy at all. He's got to answer to somebody, this Mormon man who shows up at funerals where he's not welcome. You know. It's all up to him. You know, he can have half of whatever he wants, apparently, you know. But it's, you know, we're all breathing well. He's going to have to dance with the devil, not me. Just he will. And he, at some point, will have to look at my father and my mother. And that's not going to be happy. That will not be happy when this guy looks at my father. At some point, he will have to face my dad.
Tell me about your sister. I hear she was kind of a firecracker.
She was a firecracker.
I would carry a pistol around when she
right,
did hikes and stuff.
Right? That was kind of crazy because I didn't know she did that. I did not know she carried around a pistol. But it doesn't surprise me because my dad used to have old shotguns and stuff. But she was a firecracker. She was, you know, she was very protective over me. My brother was protective over both of us. She was cute. She was cute.